In the heart of a remote village, deep within the vast forests of Igbo land, stood a tree unlike any other. It was called the Udala Tree, a towering, ancient giant, its roots woven into the very soil of the earth. Villagers revered it, but they also feared it. The tree was said to hold great power to make promises come true, but at a cost. And there was one rule everyone knew: never speak a vow beneath the Udala Tree, for it would bind you to its dark magic forever. But love, as it often does, can make one reckless. Chukwudi and Nnena, two young lovers, knew the stories, yet their hearts were so full of passion that they couldn't resist. One evening, beneath the cool shade of the Udala Tree, they made an oath of eternal love. They promised that no matter what life brought, they would always be together. They swore they would never be apart, even in death. They believed their love was strong enough to defy anything. Little did they know, the words spoken under the tree were more than just promises. They were bindings. Days turned into weeks, and life in the village continued as usual. But then, the unthinkable happened. Nnena, the beautiful and vibrant woman who had once danced and laughed under the same tree, was found dead. Her body was discovered near the Udala Tree, lifeless and cold. There were no signs of foul play, no explanation for her sudden death. It was as if she had simply vanished, her spirit taken by something unseen. Chukwudi, heartbroken and confused, couldn't understand what had happened. His grief consumed him, and in his sorrow, he often found himself wandering near the Udala Tree, hoping for a sign, hoping for an answer. It was on one of these lonely nights that he first saw her, Nnenna's ghost. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but no, she was there. Standing beneath the tree, dressed in the same wedding gown she had once dreamed of wearing. But her face was twisted, her eyes hollow, her voice a faint echo of the woman he had loved. She spoke to him in whispers. "Come to me, Chukwudi. You promised we would be together forever. Join me, and we will never be apart." Her words were soft, but they chilled him to his core. The love he had felt for her now felt like a curse. Nnenna's spirit appeared again and again, always beckoning him closer, her voice growing more desperate, more insistent. It was clear she was trapped between life and death, bound by the promise they had made. And the tree, the Udala Tree, was the keeper of that promise. Chukwudi, desperate to understand what had happened, went to the village elder, an old woman named Kiru. She was wise, and the villagers respected her for her knowledge of the old ways. After hearing his tale, Kiru's face darkened. "The Udala Tree is cursed," she said in a low, fearful voice. "Long ago, it was used to make oaths, vows that could never be broken. The spirits that dwell in the tree will make sure of it. You and Nnenna swore an eternal bond, and now that bond has bound her to the tree, and to you. Her spirit will not rest until you fulfill your promise, Chukwudi." "But what can I do?" Chukwudi asked, his voice shaking. Kiru looked him in the eye. "There is a way to free her, but it is not simple. You must return to the Udala Tree, confront the spirits that live within it, and break the bond you made. You will have to give up your love for her, erase all memory of her, and leave her spirit to rest." "But I cannot do that," Chukwudi cried. "I love her. I would rather die than forget her." The elder sighed. "I understand. But that is the price of the vow. The tree demands a sacrifice. There is no escaping it." Chukwudi's heart ached. How could he let go of the woman he loved so deeply? Yet, as the days passed, Nnenna's spirit grew stronger. She was no longer the sweet, gentle woman he had known. She had become something else. Her form flickered like a dying flame, her voice twisted with pain. The once beautiful face he loved now seemed haunted, as if the very soul of Nnenna was fighting against something darker, something far more sinister. One night, when the moon was full, Chukwudi went to the Udala Tree, determined to confront the curse and find a way to save them both. He stood beneath its wide branches, his heart pounding in his chest. He called out to Nnenna's spirit, but instead of her soft voice, there came a rush of wind, a howling sound that seemed to come from deep within the tree itself. The ground trembled beneath his feet, and the voices of the past, the voices of those who had made promises to the tree, began to speak. "You cannot break what has been bound," they whispered, their voices blending with the wind. "You are ours now." Chukwudi felt the weight of their words, the weight of the promises made long before his time. He was trapped, just like Nnena. There was no way to escape. But then, in the midst of the chaos, Chukwudi remembered something. Something Mama Nkiru had said. You must give up your love for her. It was the only way to break the bond. With tears in his eyes, he spoke the words aloud. I release you, Nnena. I love you, but I must let you go. You are free. I am free. And just like that, the wind stopped. The tree ceased its trembling. And in the distance, Chukwudi heard Nnena's voice. No longer pleading, no longer tormented. It was calm, peaceful. Her spirit had been freed. But the price had been high. As Chukwudi stood alone beneath the Udala tree, he realized the truth. Some promises, no matter how deep the love, are better left unspoken. The Udala tree had claimed its due, and the spirits of those who made vows beneath it had taught him a painful lesson. He walked away, but he would never forget. He couldn't. The memory of Nnena, of the love they had shared, would stay with him forever. But the curse had been lifted, at least for now. The Udala tree stood silent, waiting for the next soul foolish enough to make a promise it could never break. The end. Please don't forget to support this channel by hitting the like button, subscribe to this channel and share your insight in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.